Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy.
How can you truly enjoy the meal unless you know the flavor? Welcome back, ABL fans. This is Big Earl, your trusted voice in Action Baseball League analysis, coming at you with our 17th installment of Deep Dive 25. Watch your fingers, because we're about to slice, dice, and dissect all the nuances of this great league. Warm regards to the sports writer at the Los Angeles Times, whose reports are a tapestry of eloquence and wit. Your Pulitzer Prize-winning craftsmanship in covering the team is a delight to read. Okay, ABL fanatics, let's do this. Whether it's the Western Wildcards, the Eastern Powerhouses, or the Central Workhorses, we're covering it all. See it for yourself. The Los Angeles Cobras in the Western Division of the NBC, a team that's swiftly becoming a force to reckon with. With an ownership and coaching staff blending youthful zest and veteran wisdom, they're a team transforming potential into performance. Known for their balanced talent both at the plate and on the mound, they're a squad that's consistently surprising the league. Keep your eyes on them, folks. The Cobras are crafting a narrative of rising stars and strategic mastery that's captivating the ABL world. If you're one of those folks who can't get enough of the nitty-gritty, the ins and outs, the ups and downs of ABL baseball, then this deep dive is for you. It's like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You never know what treasure you're gonna find. Grab a smoothie and hit the surfboard, because we're diving into a squad as dynamic and star-studded as Los Angeles' famed Hollywood scene and sun-kissed beach.
Question 1. How does the owner's personality and negotiation style influence the team's culture and performance?
The cruise control. How Tony Cruz steers the Cobras to a blend of success and harmony. Gather round, folks, and let me lay it on you like a curveball in the ninth. Tony Cruz, the seasoned skipper of the Los Angeles Cobras, is a study in contrasts. Underneath that normal personality facade lies the heart of a lion and the cunning of a fox. He's the guy you want to share a cold one with, but he'll also hold your feet to the fire if you slack off. Picture this, a clubhouse as chill as an LA breeze but as focused as a sniper's gaze. It's not just about winning, it's about winning with character. Now, Cruz is undecided in his mood, making him as unpredictable as a knuckleball. Is he gonna shake up the roster? Who knows? It's that blend of congeniality and hard-nosed grit that keeps everyone from the GM to the ball boy on their toes. Oh, and let's not forget the colorful coaching staff, each adding their own spice to this already zesty mix. Take it from me, folks, under Cruz, the Cobras aren't just a team, they're a phenomenon. And for a fan like me, that's worth the price of admission any day.
Question 2. What roles do the front office and coaches play in the team's success or struggles? Are they aligned with the owner's vision?
The Cobras' kitchen, where too many cooks just might make the perfect stew. Step right up, ABL aficionados, and feast your eyes on the culinary spectacle that is the Cobras' front office and coaching staff. Gary Jones, the GM, is the guy shaping the ingredients. He's got a personality as normal as mom's apple pie, but can get temperamental faster than you can say strike three. Then there's Danny Chambers, the pitching coach with a reputation as battered as a foul ball, yet his personable charm might just be the secret sauce this team needs. Hitting coach Aaron Cummins? He's adding the spice, aiming for those power hits that keep the fans on the edge of their seats. And let's not forget Danny Hatch, the bench coach, who's like the sous chef, ensuring the whole operation runs smoother than a well-oiled mitt. All these personalities, from normal to temperamental, are concocting a baseball gumbo under the watchful eye of owner Tony Cruz. Their shared goal? A playoff berth, pure and simple. So, here's the million-dollar question. Will this mix of temperaments and talents serve up a championship, or will it flop like a pancake? Only the innings will tell, folks. Only the innings will tell.
Question 3. How does the team's financial health reflect in its performance?
The Cobras' fiscal fielding, a high payroll team stuck in the minors of revenue. Listen up, you hardball enthusiasts, for we're about to delve into the ledger of the Los Angeles Cobras, a team that's throwing money around like it's going out of style, but isn't seeing the ROI of a Babe Ruth-signed baseball. With a near-cap payroll of $5.8 million against a $6.3 million budget, you'd think they're fielding a team of all-stars. But hold your horses. Their revenue is a measly $5 million, and let's not even talk about that negative cash for trades. It's like trying to win a poker game with a pair of twos. Fan engagement? More like fan estrangement. With a below-average market size, lukewarm loyalty, and a stadium that's about as full as a pint in last call, these Cobras are playing to empty seats and empty coffers. It's like buying a Porsche but driving it like a Pinto. So, the million-dollar question, are the Cobras getting bang for their buck? I'd say it's more of a whimper than a bang.
Question 4. How has fan interest evolved over time, and what does it mean for the team's revenue and player acquisitions?
The Cobras' vicious cycle, average fan interest yielding average fortunes. Alright, ABL diehards, let's unpack the Cobras' fan follies, akin to a one-hit wonder that can't get back on the charts. They kicked off in '72 with a respectable fan interest score of 60, but it's been a roller coaster to mediocrity ever since, hovering around the dreaded 50s. What's the fallout? Well, imagine a rock band that only draws a half-full house night after night. That's what their 72.6% stadium occupancy and lackluster merch sales scream. The TV deals still bring in a cool $3 million, but how long can that gravy train run with a product as exciting as watching paint dry? Financially, they're caught in a catch-22, limited by middling revenue, which handcuffs their ability to reel in top-tier talent, which in turn keeps those fan interest numbers as flat as a pancake. Bottom line, the Cobras need to break this cycle of average faster than a fastball zooming past a rookie batter. They need a spark, a showstopper, a jolt to the system that can turn this ship around. So will they find that game changer, or are they destined to keep circling the drain of mediocrity? The ball's in their court.
Question 5. What is the current mood among the fan base, and how could it impact the team in the short term?
Cobras fan fervor, more fizzle than sizzle, and what it means for the team. Okay, baseball buffs, let's break down the Cobras fan mood, or should I say, lack thereof. With a fan interest score hovering at a mere 53 and loyalty rankings that wouldn't win any popularity contests, the Cobras are playing to an audience more interested in their Walkmans than the scoreboard. With attendance is a hair over 70%, making their stadium look more like a matinee showing of a B-movie. Sure, there's a faint glimmer of hope, a +2 uptick in fan interest, as exhilarating as a bunt in a blowout game. But don't uncork the champagne just yet. This tepid enthusiasm, or let's call it what it is, apathy, hits the team's bottom line, saps player morale, and puts the front office in the hot seat. So, what's next? Either the Cobras capitalize on this tiny uptick faster than a closer throwing heat, or they risk becoming the team that even crickets find boring. The stakes are high, folks, like a ninth-inning bases-loaded situation. Yeah, that high.
Question 6. How is the team faring in the league standings, and what factors are contributing to their performance?
Cobras in the hunt, a promising start with just a hint of a hiccup. Hey there, ABL aficionados, let's talk turkey, or should I say, Cobras. With a 12-7 record and playoff odds that would make even a Vegas bookie sweat a little, the Cobras are making a case for themselves as the team to watch. They're scoring almost at will with 98 runs, while their pitching staff is tighter than a new pair of shoes, allowing a mere 76. The run differential? A cool 22, meaning when they win, they don't just squeak by, they slam the door. Yet, let's not start printing playoff tickets just yet. Their ELO rating hovers in the middle of the pack, and they're scoring slightly fewer runs than the back of the baseball card would predict. But don't dismiss this team, their WAR numbers show contributions are coming from both the mound and the plate. In short, the Cobras are like a Swiss Army knife in a league full of butter knives, versatile, sharp, and ready for any challenge. So, pull up a seat, folks, this is one snake dance you won't want to miss.
Question 7. What are the team's odds of making the playoffs on a divisional and conference level?
Rolling the dice with the Cobras, playoff odds that tempt fate. Well, gather around, ABL aficionados, because the Cobras are flirting with the postseason like a teenager at a school dance, awkward but full of potential. At 41.9% for divisional odds, they're not exactly the belle of the ball, but they're not wallflowers either. Think of it like being down a run in the late innings, hope is very much alive. But widen the lens to conference odds, and suddenly, the Cobras look like they've been taking dance lessons, 62.1% odds of making the playoffs. That's not just being in the game, that's setting the pace on the dance floor. Sure, with great odds come great expectations. They're like a slugger staring down a 3-1 count, anything less than a hit is a letdown. So, as we head into the heart of the season, the Cobras are a tantalizing maybe, a could be, a why not? And in baseball, that's often all you need to make a little magic.
Question 8. How do base runs and ELO ratings paint a picture of the team's true strengths and weaknesses?
The Cobras numbers game, when stats whisper truths and taunts. Listen up, ABL aficionados, let's dissect the Cobras season like a sabermetrician with a new spreadsheet. Base runs tell us they're a fly ball caught at the warning track on offense, almost there but falling 3 runs short of the expected 101. Yet, their pitching staff's a different story, giving up just 76 runs against an expected 82. That's like a closer with ice in his veins. Their run differential of 22 screams they're not just squeaking by in games, they're laying down the law. But then comes the ELO rating, 1,494.3, landing them 14th in the league, smack dab in the belly of mediocrity. So, what's the verdict? The Cobras are a mixed bag of tantalizing might-have-beens and solid performances. Their pitching staff is the rock, the offense needs a jolt, and their ELO rating is the buzzkill at the party. They're like a 3-tool player in a league of 5-tool stars. Good, but not yet great.
Question 9. What does the team's WAR indicate about its most valuable players?
The Cobras War Room, a symphony of balanced talent. Let's talk WAR, the statistic that crunches everything down to a single, precious number like a sabermetrician's holy grail. The Cobras batter WAR sits at 4.06, while their pitcher WAR is 2.18, totting up to a full orchestra score of 6.24. What's it tell us? This ensemble isn't leaning too hard on either the strings or the brass, they've got a balanced sound. Sure, the hitters are the first violins leading the melody with a 4.06 WAR, but don't discount the woodwinds and percussion in the bullpen and rotation chipping in with a 2.18. This isn't a one-man band, it's a symphony of talent, each player adding their own note to the score. So, if you're looking for superstars, you might be disappointed. But if you appreciate a team where everyone contributes, well, the Cobras are playing your tune.
Question 10. How have injuries impacted the team's performance and depth?
The Cobras' injury curveball, a test of depth and dollars. Injuries, the uninvited guests at any team's season-long fiesta. The Cobras find themselves playing a game of musical chairs with 3 key players sidelined, ringing up 63 days on the disabled list and a $139,000 tab that's doing nothing but collecting dust. It's like buying a luxury car and finding out it's only good for sitting in the driveway. These absences aren't just numbers, they're flesh and bone gaps in the lineup and rotation that force the Cobras to play a high-stakes game of mix and match. Young guns get a shot, sure, but it's like being thrown into the deep end, sink or swim time, kid. The coaching staff, meanwhile, is flipping through the strategic playbook like a desperate gambler looking for a lucky number. Can the Cobras adjust and keep the ship steady, or will they find out they're not as deep as they thought? Only time will tell if they strike out or hit a home run in this unexpected inning of their season.
Question 11. What do the team's batting statistics reveal about its offensive capabilities?
Cobras bats, a symphony of swings and stings. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about the Cobras bats, a lineup that's as versatile as a Swiss Army knife and as unpredictable as a roll of the dice in a back alley craps game. They've put up 98 runs with a batting average that's hotter than a July afternoon at 299. You want power? They've got 18 homers and 37 doubles, numbers that scream we can go yard or paint the lines. Discipline? They've drawn 55 walks, as if they're negotiating with the pitcher for a free pass to first base. But don't blink, because they've also swiped 5 bases without getting caught. It's like watching a magician and wondering how he pulled off the trick. With an OPS of 804 and an isolated power of 146, these Cobras aren't just hissing, they're ready to strike. This is a lineup that keeps pitchers guessing and fans on the edge of their seats. They can jab you with singles, hook you with walks, and then deliver the uppercut with a home run. In short, it's a lineup that can beat you in 1,000 different ways and is just waiting for the pitch to prove it.
Question 12. How does the pitching staff stack up against divisional and conference competition?
Cobras pitching, the high-wire act of the mound. Folks, let's crack open the book on the Cobras pitching staff, a cadre of hurlers who seem to live by the adage it's better to bend than to break. With an ERA of 3.75, they're not stealing any headlines, but they're not making the blooper reel either. They're the reliable sedan in a world of sports cars and clunkers. A FIP of 4.23 whispers that the leather behind them is doing its part. The strikeout-to-walk ratio? A high-wire act, to be sure, 115 Ks to 80 walks, like a magician juggling chainsaws and hoping not to drop one. They've only allowed 12 homers, so don't expect fireworks when they're on the mound. But, the ground ball rate. a dreamy 52.6%, like a vacuum cleaner salesman demonstrating on a dirt floor. Yet, the sliver-thin gap of 4.57% between their strikeout and walk rates suggests this ensemble still has some fine-tuning to do. In the end, they're the kind of staff that keeps you in the game, and in baseball, hope springs eternal, or at least until the final out.
Question 13. Are the team's fielding statistics a strength or a weakness?
Cobras fielding, the quiet symphony of gloves and cleats. Gather round, fans of the diamond, and let's talk about the Cobras fielding, silent but deadly, like a librarian with a black belt. With a zone rating of 3.73, they're not exactly dazzling you like a Vegas magician, but they're sturdy as a well-built bridge. Defensive efficiency at 0.707? Well, that's not the star of the show, but it's the reliable character actor you're always glad to see. Errors? A mere 7, a disciplined team that clearly pays attention during infield drills. But double plays, the pitcher's best friend, 22 of them, like a card shark who knows just when to double down. And let's tip our caps to the outfield arms. With a rate of 0.38 assists per 100 innings, they're as cautionary as a traffic light in a school zone. Runners daring to steal? Well, they've been gunned down 37.5% of the time, making base thieves reconsider their life choices. In the end, folks, the Cobras fielding is like a well-conducted orchestra. No sour notes, just a harmonious tune that might just lead to victory.
Question 14. What do base running stats say about the team's tactical approach?
The Cobras base running, a masterclass in calculated risks. Let's toast to the Cobras base running, shall we? It's not the sizzling, flashy, steal every bag inside affair. No, it's more like a suspense thriller, every move calculated, every slide a plot twist. 5 stolen bases and not a single man caught? That's not luck, folks, that's a tactical masterpiece. The Cobras are like chess grandmasters of the diamond, and their weighted stolen base runs of 1.61 are the checkmates that tilt games in their favor. With a steady stream of 144 singles and 55 walks, they've got more options than a Swiss Army knife. And those 0 intentional walks? That's the rest of the league basically saying, we dare you. Well, dare accepted. The Cobras aren't just running bases, they're running a clinic on how to turn diamond into gold.
Question 15. Who are the standout performers in batting, and what do their stats reveal?
The Cobras triple threat, bats that boom and stats that sing. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Cobras menage a trois of terror, Orlando Greeley, Bill Haywood, and Miles Bird. These aren't just hitters, they're escape artists making pitchers vanish into thin air. Greeley? His .389 average and 6 home runs are like a siren's call, irresistible yet destructive. This man's WOBA of 523 isn't just good, it's obscene. Then comes Haywood, the second verse as potent as the first, brandishing a .380 average and a WRC plus of 190. He's not just knocking on the door, he's smashing it down. And don't overlook young Miles Bird. Sure, his home runs are more scarce, but with a .377 average, he's proving that you don't need to swing for the fences to score. When these three step up to the plate, it's not a question of if they'll hit, but how far and how damaging. Pitchers, consider this your warning.
Question 16. Who are the key figures in the pitching staff, and how do they influence games?
The Cobras' 3 musketeers, commanding the mound with finesse and fire. Step right up and feast your eyes on the Cobras' trinity of mound maestros, Adam John, Joel Valente, and Enrique Laxton. John is the miser of the run world, hoarding them like a dragon with an ERA of 2.20 and stranding runners like they're on a deserted island. Valente? Call him Mr. Consistency with an ERA of 3.10 and a low walk rate that's as comforting as grandma's apple pie. Then there's the young gun, Laxton. He's the firecracker in a box of sparklers, exciting but sometimes erratic, evidenced by that roller coaster walks per 9 rate of 4.67. Together, they're the backbone, the heartbeat, the ringleaders of this Cobra circus, and when they take the mound, you can bet it's going to be a show worth the price of admission.
Question 17. Who excels in base running and fielding, and how do they impact the game's outcome?
The silent game changers, Cobra's masters of the base paths and the glove. Ladies and gentlemen, meet the Cobra's unsung heroes, the base-stealing aficionados and leather-flashing virtuosos. In center field, we've got Miles Bird, as elusive as a cat burglar with 2 stolen bases and a 100% success rate. And don't overlook Bill Haywood, the right fielder who's not just flexing muscle but also flashing speed, boasting an unblemished stolen base record. Fernando Dominic in left field rounds out this trifecta of base-running acumen. But wait, Haywood isn't done. He's also a wizard with the glove, boasting a fielding percentage that would make Ozzie Smith blush. Joining him in this defensive masterclass are Leonardo Reyes in left and Emmanuel Robertson at second base, both of whom make it seem like their positions are coated in flypaper. These guys are the tide turners, the momentum shifters, the unsung heroes who make you realize baseball is a ballet, not a rock concert. And when they dance, boy, do they make it look good.
Question 18. What does the team's age demographic reveal about its experience and future potential?
The fountain of youth, Cobras' blend of youthful zeal and prolonged potential. The Los Angeles Cobras, where youth isn't just served, it's the main course. With an average age of 27.92 in the majors, they're not just playing the game, they're also defying father time. The pitchers, a smidge older at 28.15, have just enough seasoning to make their raw talent palatable. The batters, hovering at 27.71, are in that sweet spot where potential meets prowess. But hold your horses, this isn't just a major league phenomenon. Peer down the pipeline to AAA and AA, and you find a treasure trove of young blood, with ages averaging around the late 20s and mid-20s, respectively. Even the single-A kids are just that, kids, in their early 20s. So, what's the long and short of it? The Cobras aren't just building a team, they're cultivating a dynasty. These youngsters aren't just a flash in the pan, they're the whole fireworks show, with an encore planned for years to come.
Question 19. Who has had the best batting and pitching games, and what do these performances signify for the team?
The high notes, Cobras' individual brilliance as a symphony of team potential. The spotlight moments, the solos in the orchestra, if you will, that give us a tantalizing glimpse of the whole symphony. Let's talk Emmanuel Robertson, shall we? His 5 RBI day against Miami was the baseball equivalent of a guitarist smashing his instrument in a rock concert, pure, unadulterated brilliance. Then there's Orlando Greeley, who seems to be treating the diamond like his personal dance floor, with a standout game against San Diego to prove it. But what's a rock show without the drummers, the backbone of any band? Enter pitchers Adam John and Enrique Laxton. John's 9-inning magnum opus against Phoenix was akin to a Beethoven composition, every note, or in this case, every pitch, in perfect harmony. Laxton, our up-and-comer, is more like the hot new artist dropping a debut album that screams future superstar. These aren't just great performances, they're statements of intent, odes to what the Cobras could be, a harmonious blend of individual talents aiming for the top of the ABL charts.
Question 20. What does your gut tell you about this team in the 1981 championship season and the Grand Tournament of Champions?
The Serpent's Bite, Los Angeles Cobras' looming impact on the 1981 ABL stage. Folks, when you've been around the diamond as long as I have, you develop a sixth sense for sniffing out potential, and let me tell you, the Los Angeles Cobras are drenched in it. This young, zesty squad has that indescribable sizzle, that verve that turns good teams into great ones. It's not just muscle and hustle, it's a swagger, a sense of destiny. They're poised to slither their way atop their division, and I wouldn't bet against them making some noise in the Grand Tournament of Champions. Sure, they're young, but they've got the kind of youthful audacity that makes veterans shake in their cleats. With a pitching staff that could double as a collection of escape artists and a lineup that can light up a scoreboard like a 4th of July fireworks show, this team is a coiled serpent, ready to strike. Don't blink, or you might just miss their ascendancy to ABL royalty. So, hold onto your hats, ABL fans. The Cobras are poised to inject some venom into this 1981 championship season.
Question 21. What is the team's history in the Grand Tournament of Champions?
Cobras haunting ghosts, the 1977 sweep and its lingering echoes. You're pulling out the history books? Well, let's turn to that dreaded page of 1977, a year that still casts a long shadow over the Los Angeles Cobras. Swept by the Dallas Rustlers, the Cobras didn't just lose, they were humiliated, outclassed, and sent packing. But here's the kicker, that sweep wasn't just a loss, it was an epic, a formative agony that likely set the tone for everything that came after. It was the kind of defeat that makes you question your very core, that sends you back to the drawing board with your tail between your legs. And yet, here they are, years later, with a team that's a mix of youthful zest and tempered wisdom. That 1977 humiliation isn't just a scar, it's a lesson, an indelible ink on the franchise's soul that screams, never again. As this current squad eyes the Grand Tournament of Champions, you better believe that 77 heartbreak is fueling their fire, a ghostly reminder that history, once written, can also be rewritten.
Question 22. What is the team's history in previous seasons?
A decade in the coils, Los Angeles Cobras' serpentine path to glory? Oh, the sweet nectar of nostalgia. The Los Angeles Cobras have been a mixed bag of tricks for a decade, a roller coaster that's plunged more than it's soared. The early 70s? A dreary affair that had fans eyeing the exits. Then came 77, a year that jolted the franchise like a bolt of lightning, only to get struck down by the Dallas Rustlers. But listen, that defeat turned heads and filled seats, proving that even a loss can be a win in disguise. The subsequent years? A descent back into the doldrums, despite pockets filling and stands brimming. Now, behold 1981, a year that's got folks wondering if the Cobras are finally shedding their old skin. They're winning, fans are grinning, and the cash registers are spinning. But here's the million-dollar question. Is this the dawn of a new era, or just another false sunrise? With a decade of scars, lessons, and a .299 batting average in 81, the Cobras are a team at the crossroads, either on the brink of glory or another footnote in the annals of missed chances.
Question 23. What's your take on last season?
The 1980 Cobras, a season of big bets and bigger regrets. 1980, a year that promised much but delivered little for the Los Angeles Cobras. It was a season of dreams deferred, a high-stakes poker game where the Cobras went all in and busted out. On the field, a lackluster 74-88 record and a third-place finish tell the tale. They had bats that occasionally sizzled but more often fizzled, with a team average of .246. The mound? More like a merry-go-round with a wobbly 4.01 ERA. And let's talk moolah. A payroll north of $6 million ended in financial quicksand, a negative balance that had bean counters doing double takes. Despite all this, the turnstiles kept spinning, with 1.37 million fans still willing to bet on tomorrow. So, what's the takeaway? The 1980 Cobras were like a Hollywood blockbuster that flopped. Big budget, big hype, but no Oscar at the end. They learned the hard way that in baseball, as in life, money can't buy you love or wins.
Question 24. How does what happened in the 1980 season reflect on the 1981 early campaign?
The 1981 Cobras, a phoenix rising from the ashes of 1980. The 1981 Los Angeles Cobras are shaping up to be the stuff of Hollywood comebacks, a Rocky sequel where the underdog gets up off the mat. After a 1980 season that was about as uplifting as a country ballad, the Cobras have found their groove. Financial woes? Fixed, with a bulging balance sheet that screams new beginnings. On the diamond, they've traded in their 1980 sputter for a .632 winning percentage. The bats have woken up from their slumber, boasting a robust .299 average. And let's not forget the arms, still a work in progress, but showing signs of tightening up with a 3.75 ERA. Even the fans are back, flocking to the ballpark as if lured by the siren song of a team reborn. It's early days, but the Cobras look like they've swallowed the bitter pill of 1980 and are writing a prescription for success in 81.
Question 25. What is your take on the current roster?
Cobras in 81, a tale of high-octane offense and cracks in the armor. Grab your scorecards and popcorn. The 1981 Los Angeles Cobras are a blockbuster in the making. They've got a pitching staff that's a mix of sizzle and fizzle. Adam John is throwing Rembrandts, while closer Kevin Cavanaugh's numbers are more suited for a horror flick. Behind the plate, Lois Nevu is outplaying Ricky Lopez like a seasoned veteran schooling a rookie. The infield's a mixed bag, too. Orlando Greeley's swatting the horsehide like he's playing wiffle ball in the backyard, while first base has been a revolving door of mediocrity. And let's talk about the outfield. Bill Haywood is putting up MVP numbers, but is nursing a ribcage that's more delicate than a Fat-Bear J egg. The lineups? Deadly against right-handers and left-handers alike, but let's not forget the injury specter that hovers like an unwelcome dinner guest. So here's the deal, the Cobras are cooking with gas, but let's hope they don't burn the kitchen dew. This 1981 season is a high-stakes poker game, and the Cobras are sitting with a handful of potential, but potential can be the cruelest mistress of all. Well, there you have it, your up-close and personal deep dive into the Los Angeles Cobras. We've dissected their strengths, weaknesses, and everything in between. We've peeked into the owner's suite, dug into the dugout, and even scoped out the fans in the bleachers. And let me tell you, what a ride it's been. Like a well-pitched game, we've covered all the bases. But remember, baseball is a game of unpredictability. Just when you think you've got it figured out, it throws you a curveball. The Los Angeles Cobras, a team dazzling the regular season like Hollywood stars on opening night. But when it comes to the Grand Tournament of Champions, they've often been like actors missing their spotlight moment. Will this be the season they finally deliver a blockbuster performance and seize the championship title, or are they set to remain as the talented yet unfulfilled ensemble of the ABL's grand saga? The Cobras' tale is far from over, and the next chapter promises to be a page-turner. Big Earl here, folks. Keep your eyes peeled for future reports as we navigate through the twists and turns of another gripping ABL season. So, whether you're a fan of the Cobras or just love the game, the best is yet to come. Until next time, this is the game. See it for yourself.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
See it for yourself.
How would you know the difference between the dream world and the real world? You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.